Alright, you see this? Right here. This is connected to this. And that's boiling down the problem as much as I can here. Because as the islanders are tossed off the island, people that actually give a fuck about the place have some kind of connection to it, understand its history and its heritage, who understand the concept of my almost lost my fingers there. Ohana, they're all being tossed off. They're getting rid of them. But at the same time, all that other sort of housing is opening. And that's where you get the situation that we have currently. Where there's just a huge influx of people from these parts of the mainland that are replacing the islanders. And they want them here for a lot of different reasons. Well, they're golems, actually. I mean, if you understand the idea of what the Yiddish golem is and what they do and what they're supposed to do. It all leads back to the order out of chaos thing. They need all the cities to turn to shit so that they can come in and say, well, things are too shitty there. We're going to have martial law because, you guys just can't behave yourselves. Never mind the fact that we placed boxes in the hen house. You know, we didn't know they were going to start eating the fucking hens. That's basically what they're doing. Walking around today, and you see these new dudes, and it's like, they just look so funny because they stick out like a mile away. Like, it looks like someone took a giant arm, reached into Trenton, New Jersey, picked these dudes up, and from the corners they were standing on, because they all stand on corners, and they brought them here and put them on a corner here, just the way they are in all their glory. They have tons of clothes on, hoodies on, so that you can barely see their face. They look like they're planning something, and you know, most likely they are. And they're just looking there, they're standing there, all confused, looking around. It's got to be like a kid in a fucking candy store, though. You see all these rich tourists walking around. It's just like the opportunities are probably making their minds melt. But yeah, these guys are just, you know, I see these guys all the time now. And you can tell, yeah, they don't belong here. It's like, well, I mean, they're pretty obvious ways you can tell, but the other ways are, yeah, that look of confusion, socks with sneakers, lots of clothes, man. I know it's a fashion, like it's a style, but like, I've said this before, hip-hop guys wear that stuff because they live in fucking Brooklyn. It gets cold there. When you live in a place like this, you just look like an asshole. And you probably stink really bad. But whatever. So anyway, these two stories are linked. This is what happens. Well, it's too costly here now. Fine people have to leave the island now, so yeah, sorry. Go to Las Vegas. And then as soon as they're gone, they sweep into the landlord and like, all right, you're going to do a low-income housing thing here. Okay. Well, they offered it to them during COVID when no one had money to pay them. So the government's like, all right, well, we can pay you if you take, if we fix the zoning on your condo. Now, usually that can't happen because there are zoning laws. I've worked in that industry for a long time. As a side thing of the civil engineering business, we had to do a lot of stuff like that. My dad used to do the zoning board meetings, but in a state of emergency, which this was under because of COVID, all kinds of wacky things can go on. You don't need to follow any rules. It's almost like they planned it that way. Almost like, because it was. You see every city, the same thing happen. They want this They want this chaos. They want this increase in crime. They want this disturbance. It's all lines up with their forcing revelation thing, where they're playing out the end times like a book, like a script, because it is exactly what it is. I used to think about it and be like, well, they're obviously forcing, biblical revelation by the actions they're taking. They're unnaturally forcing this to happen, but it's still happening. So whether it's happening organically or they're forcing it to happen, the effect is still the same. The net effect is it's happening. And then the more I thought about it and looked at it, I was like, no, this is probably how it happened before. Because I believe this has happened before. They're following a script. Like all this stuff that's gone on, it gets to a certain endpoint when they've gotten all the juice out of the fucking fruit that they can get, meaning all the energy. They've squeezed all the energy they can out of the people. They've gotten all they can out of this experiment here. Then they shake up the snow globe and start it over. Now, the other day I did a video about the possibility of there being other areas like this, like the one we're in here. And perhaps, I've said before, like they shake up the snow globe and start over again here. Maybe they don't even start over again here. Maybe they just, this part of the muffin pan is done. And then they go to the other one and they run the same script. These are all really crazy kind of concepts, but you can't really take anything off the table. And the more I learn, the more I put together, by talking to others, sharing information, the more outlandish the whole situation becomes. I try to focus on God, and keep and just do what's right. And until I find a better way, and I don't think there's a better way, that's where I tend to end up. I'm in this situation, a lot of us are in it, and it's a different situation than a lot of the other people around us are in, because they're unaware of any of these things. But instead of making it more difficult, it's much better. I'd rather have the situation I'm in now than not understand what's going on. See, the thing is, they make how is this tenable? They sell you these bags, and then if you put cans in them, like I have here, I have like coffee cans in there. It's not going to make it, because they can't use plastic, because plastic's like evil or something. If you use plastic, you're alt-right, absolutely. So I don't want to be alt-right. So instead, I have this fucking shit going on. It's not easy. But yeah, I just wanted to show those two stories because I've talked a lot about this with the growing crime problem and all the bullshit we have here that we didn't have here before. But they have to get the island people out, because they're the only ones that would care to defend the island, or care to not let it fall into chaos like they want it to. They were the only ones with a stake in this place and a connection to this place, so of course they have to go. And then they can bring the golems in, and then let the madness begin. Whatever. We're all gonna be fine. Don't blame the teacher, blame the school.